So let's talk about how we do make that transition, which needs to start urgently now, but runs for decades, right? So to get to net zero by 2050, I think you have sort of three planks to that, right? Carbon pricing, green spending, and social justice, a just transition. And if we can take each of those in turn, that would be fantastic. So carbon pricing, you seem to emphasize as the most important thing. Is that right, and why?
We do believe that providing forward guidance on gradual increase of carbon price is essential for consumers and, most importantly, producer businesses to shift towards low carbon economy. And this signal has already started to show its value in jurisdictions that have adopted it. We know that, for example, a country like Sweden now has had a carbon tax for quite some time, combined with utilizing the revenues from this tax for a socially acceptable transition, for a just transition. And when I looked at the analysis my colleagues at the fund have done, it is so very clear that without a level of ambition to get to around $75 a ton, perhaps more, we cannot shift gear in the economy to a point that we can reach the Paris Agreement targets. And let's remember, Paris Agreement says don't go above 1.5 degree Celsius, you're going to regret it. So when we did our new research, last year we did a research on fiscal matters. How can a carbon price be introduced? And then the conclusion was best to do it through a carbon tax, although of course there are also other ways to do it. This time we ask ourselves, would that be enough? And the answer, especially in the context of fighting COVID-19, is no. We have to have a triage in which there is a public investment that targets green, and especially in the energy sector, in transforming energy. And there has to be well thought through and implemented protection of the vulnerable that allows us to have public support for this transformation. So I think we are coming with a more mature and more politically sound view that carbon tax is critical, but it has to be put in a context of governments injecting stimulus for infrastructure, greening infrastructure, and also for creating jobs. Because let's remember, we come out of this COVID crisis. What is on the other side? Very significant, likely very significant job destruction. Why? Because contact-dependent sectors are being affected. Some of them may recover. Some of them may not. Just think of the tremendous transformation that is happening with digital payments and with the ability to order whatever you need to be delivered to your front door. So where are jobs going to come from? And greening the economy offers a tremendous opportunity for job-rich investment. Our analysis in the model we have developed and applied, we see that if we go in this combination of stimulus, price, compensation, the stimulus can generate something like 12 million net additional jobs, and it can boost output by, in our analysis, by 0.7% for 15 years. Now, that job growth is for a shorter period of time. Then we see the impact of the stimulus dissipating, but it comes exactly when we need it, when we need to get people to work. and do that fairly quickly to prevent scarring of the economy.
Is your assumption? Just to understand your assumptions, is your assumption that a green stimulus is more labor intensive, better for jobs than stimulus which is aimed at incumbent dirty industry? What does the model tell us on that?
Let me start from facts. We actually looked at what has been done so far and what is the evidence. Evidence is that in renewable energy, we create more jobs in relative terms per unit of capital than in coal. Coal-fired power plants, less jobs; renewables, more jobs. And actually, you can design your stimulus to be mindful of this job creation objective. And in this paper, we are only looking at carbon intensity energy and carbon intensive industries. But there is a whole universe of reforestation, dealing with land degradation, mangroves restoration, that is also job rich. And I think policymakers can make this more attractive for the public by explicitly zeroing on the multiplier impact from a job creation point of view. In our assumptions, for the benefit of full disclosure, we expect this is going to lift up debt by somewhere between 5 and 6% by, in a couple of decades, by the time we get to net zero. But we believe that the overall impact on output and on employment, and in addition to that, in some countries, the big health benefits that come from decarbonization, they way offset this increase in debt levels.